let's take a look at this ship and see how, well, I guess how I feel about it, since most of you guys actually don't play. So I guess that kind of works.
Have a first look at the
Oh,
MISC. We finally have a first look at the MISC/Mirai Fury.
Ooh,
ISC, the Pipeline Discord has
okay.
uncovered details about the Fury and its bomber variant.
I mean, look
Let's
at
take
that
a look
color.
At everything we know
Ooh,
about the
and
Fury
the
and its variants
movement.
coming to Invictus Fleet Week on May
Come on,
19th.
son. This is going to be during Invictus, which is coming up really soon in less than, like, I think 7 days.
We not only got to look at the Fury, but also got some
I mean,
insight
look at
about
that,
the company
like,
that makes it,
X-Wing
Mirai.
type.
Mirai?
Hold on. That, first of all, has, like, an X-Wing type format. So if you guys don't know, the Scorpius and the Scorpius Antares have like an X-Wing type design. So it has everything that's, you close it off to where there's straight panels horizontally, and then they open up into diagonals looking like an X-Wing. Now that thing also too does, which makes you wonder if it's going to have a base form when it flies out of port, or when some of the gear is down or not. And that whole multiple, if it's multiple weapons or 4 weapons, it's going to be interesting. I don't know. Looks like a drone from the Oblivion movie. Let's keep going.
Which is Japanese for future, is
So-
a sub or sister brand of MISC. With MISC being a primarily industrial ship company, making ships like the Prospector and the Starfarer, the leaders at MISC felt as though they needed to create another performance brand to represent the top-of-the-line ships and vehicles.
Okay,
This brand starts off with their first ship,
that makes sense.
Mirai Razor. Originally a MISC ship, CIG has decided that Razor, with all of its variants, fits better with a brand focused around performance.
I'm not.
3.19.
You know, it's crazy. I wasn't aware that MISC is the one that made the Razor. So Razor is a very fast ship. It is a 1-person ship. A lot of people use the Razors in order to race in. They're very quick. They also do come with weapons. A lot of the time, if you see people who do racing, they'll switch out the ballistics or the repeater weapons for what are they, pulse weapons and stuff like that, things that will disable your ship as opposed to destroy your ship, which is good. I mean, at least me and the homies did. And so a lot of people use the Razors in order to race, because not only are they fast, but they're nimble as you know what I mean. And I'll have to bleep that out. So reminder. So it's interesting that they're going to make a performance vehicle outside of racing, which is dope. It's really dope. All right, sorry.
The Razor will officially be part of Mirai. Moving on to the Fury. We got these close-up shots of the Fury, followed by a full view from the front.
Bro, this thing is
Leaks
sexy.
indicate that the Fury has 4 size 2 weapons equipped.
4 size
this amount
2
of
weapons.
firepower gives the Fury great alpha damage, especially at its size.
That's a lot.
With those weapons, it would put the firepower of the...
If you guys don't know, for size 2, of course, is a step up from size 1. A lot of ships come with stock size 1s, but size 2 and having 4. And on top of that, if you were to scatter the shots, meaning that they are not all shooting at the same time, but alternating, that's a dangerous combination. It could be very dangerous. Dangerous. The fuck is dangerous? I hope I put something in the screen that says dangerous with a J. Yeah.
Fury around the same as some other light fighters. That being said, the Fury is leaked to have, quote, best-in-class maneuverability and fully integrated cutting-edge geotech.
Best-in-class maneuverability. That's
This, combined
wild.
with the way these engines seem to be placed around the corners of the ship, mean that I think the Fury has a strong possibility of being
Look at
even
that.
more maneuverable than ships like the P-72,
Come
let
on.
alone light fighters like the Arrow or Gladius.
No.
Early leaks indicate that when folded up, the Fury takes about half the space of a P-72. If this is true, we could see as many as 10 Furies packed inside of one C2. Each one of those would be extremely...
10 Furies inside of one C2? So I'm like, my mind is scrambling right now. A C2 is a big ship. And I mean big. It is like gunship size, meaning that you take this big to war. You use this ship to drop other ships that can drop other ships, you know? And Snubfire used an alien engine, so hell maneuverable. So when I think of snub ships, I think of like the Merlin, you know, or the ship that's right attached to an Andromeda, and those things are fast for a reason. They're there to be secondary, to help you. You know what I mean? To pull away focus as well as just intercept. And so you're telling me that I could fit 10 of those in there? Could you imagine? First of all, the C2, what is it? The crew size is 1 pilot, 2 gunners, people in the middle, I would say at least 5. So you have people manning the ship at 5. Then you can have 10 more people. That's like 15 people just going through space to shit up. You know what I mean? Like, talk about exploration and an expedition. Like, if you have a goal in mind with 15 people, you're going to be a force of reckoning, especially with things that are coming towards 319, 320 with what did they say? They said that they're going to redo the whole idea of if you buy parts and your ship dies, the whole idea of insurance is it brings it back to stock, not back to what you've upgraded to. You can go in there and do a lot of fucking damage. Largest cargo cap in game right now. That's wild. Oh my god.
Difficult to track due to their mobility and hard to hit given their tiny dimensions. Truly a formidable foe. This brings us to the variant of the Fury, the Miru. While the Miru translates to see, watch, or look when direct.
Wait, what? There's a variant? There's a variant of the Fury? So they're coming out with 2 ships.
Directly translated from Japanese. Woo! Your enemies aren't going to be doing any of that, as you bring to bear a whole 20 missiles that replace those size 4 weapons. At this point, we don't know if it'll have any weapons at all outside of the missiles, but I don't think...
You said a bomber variant? Okay, so what's going on? Do we have an idea of when these ships are coming out? Because if they're coming out in 320, that just means that the ships that they had already described before that, like the Spirit C1 that I had ordered already, pre-order, fuck y'all, has to come before that because it has the tractor beam, and we're talking about things being removed in 319, 320, using tractor beams and ships. Excuse me. So they're just deciding that they're gonna go full haul ass. I mean, understand that there's some key figures or features that they have not worked on since the beginning, and I'm realizing some of these features that I kind of adored a little bit. Face wear. But oh my god, this is gonna be a fantastic event. It's gonna be a fantastic
given
event.
This unbelievable offensive power of both variants, how on earth is CIG going to keep this thing balanced? First and foremost, the leaked descriptions of these ships both explicitly mention the words short-ranged combat and snub. To me, this is obviously stating that this snub craft, unlike the Pisces, will not have a quantum drive at all.
Okay.
This seems like
There's
a really
nothing wrong
great
with that,
trade-off
though.
to me, since the snub category of ships is thus far very underpopulated, and so this ship won't be replacing or taking the place of any dedicated fighters like the Arrow or Gladius in regular bounty hunting. If anything, I believe we'll end up seeing the snub used far more in multi-crew scenarios, which I think is super enjoyable and brings a sense
there
of
we
balance to
go.
the ship.
There we go. Multi-crew scenarios, snub fighters. I mean, I would say maybe 6 to 8 months ago they were talking about being able to do drones. So I would say this is going to be in the class of just, I don't want to say anti-airfare, but stuff like that, being able to take on multiple enemies as if you're a big ship, as opposed to if you're just a small ship being able to zip around and get out. This is kind of like not necessarily kamikaze style, but if you have some dedicated pilots who are there to I guess make sure that the mission is a success, then yes, snub fighters all the way. That would be a great focus is the whole battle idea, because I know they're trying to push into more PvP, hence most of the changes, if you think about it, they are going towards like you have to be aware that the situation could get kind of toasty for you, even with the whole idea of mining and cargo, physical cargo at that, finding ships that may have random cargo, things that are valuable. Same thing as mining, being able to mine certain resources or take certain resources to certain planets or certain moons to get more or less money. I think that they're making the game and forcing you to kind of push into the PvP ideal of it. And oh man, it's gonna be insane. For the events like Invictus or IAE, they usually release 2 unannounced ships and 1 concept ship. Okay, so is this going to be the 2 unannounced ships, or what is going to be the 1 unannounced ship? Then that's my biggest question, because if variants don't count, then I can understand that this could be either or. But if this is going to be the 2 unannounced leaked ships, then the question is what was the unannounced ship? Sorry, yeah.
Losing its quantum drive also means that the bomber variant will require someone to reload its missiles manually once it's safely redocked in its mothercraft. or it'll be completely useless for the rest of the fight.
Reload its missiles
I think they'll end up
manually?
balancing the ship by giving it extremely small capacitors, curbing the snub's ability to keep up a high sustained damage. Of course, if the lasers are replaced with ballistics, the ship ends up completely out of the fight unless it can find a pad. Other factors to consider for the ship will be its relatively small signature, allowing it to infiltrate Jumptown in large numbers if its carrier ship lands farther out. That is, of course...
Wait, infiltrate Jumptown? Could you imagine bringing a C2 above atmosphere, dropping 10 snub ships, which would not require quantum at that level, to go into Jumptown, take it over? Who gives a shit if they blow up? But if they're all on the ground, or if they're fighting between in the air, on the ground, or even just the fact that they fight in the air, and this is saying this is going to be the most nimble ship. We've seen how nimble an Arrow is. We see how nimble the Merlin, which is another snub, but most light fighters would have an issue, and you'd have to do a 2-on-1. You'd have to. I got something high sustained for you. I'm gonna infiltrate your unknown with the high sustained. Get out here! First of all, Verkus,
Welcome back!
thank you for being here, brother.
If CIG doesn't also give the snub extremely limited hydrogen fuel to prevent the ship from being used solo with the carrier just parked very far out. Another interesting question is, what ships do you think the Fury will fit inside? Its opening animation makes it look like it almost folds up a little bit. Do we think that it'll require a full-size one pad like
I
the
think
ones
it's
found
gonna
in the
have to
Ninja
require
Jump?
a bigger
Or perhaps
ship.
it'll fit into the bespoke hangar of a Carrack. If it really folds up small, it will hopefully fit into cargo bays like the one in the Corsair and the Crusader Hercules series, allowing you to carry multiple of them. So do you think that the Fury and its variants are going to be balanced in this state? Of course, these are leaks, so anything...
Oh, come on, YouTube. Where we at right now? Is that me? Is that me? Are we still there? Come on, son. I'm hoping that you can fit at least more than one in some of these bigger ships. Otherwise, it would be pointless and useless. Fuck. Okay, so are we still live at least? Make sure I put my hand up, see that the video's still moving. It's still moving. All right. I don't have an answer for that. I mean, I don't. I really don't. But just wait, how many more minutes is left in this bitch? 4. Oh, okay, so it's literally like 20 seconds. It's fine.
The Fury and its bomber
So
variant.
it didn't
Let's take a
finish
look-
here.
So do you think that the Fury and its variants are going to be balanced in this
Try
state?
this.
Of course, these are leaks, so anything...
Yeah, so that's gonna be the rest of the video. Thank you guys for watching that part. But just the fact that it's gonna be a snub nose ship, it's gonna be sick. I think it's gonna be sick.